Welcome, one and all, to Box Art Battles. Alec, how's it going?
We're gonna battle.
A vision.
It's going good. A vision. No, different character. Different character. I should get us.
Get a Shulk. Be the shirtless Shulk.
No, not going shirtless. I'm doing pretty good. Had a vacation a while ago. I don't know why I'm bringing it up now because I already had a whole week. But I'm feeling like more energized. Vacation. Oh, you are? Are you?
This is my vacation. Is just staying in my house.
I was gonna say sitting in your house with a Luigi costume. That's your vacation.
Yeah. We're joined by Pestro. Pestro, how's it going?
How's it going? Pretty good. My body's ready.
Oh, all right.
Let's do this.
Well, we like hearing that. We like hearing that.
To hear that around.
Yeah, we like hearing that around these parts.
Look, I'm dressed up as Luigi. We're entering our horror month, so we're gonna have all horror themed videos. Well, it'll be like 90% horror themed, and then it'll be like Survivor and other stuff. But
I'm in my Riku thing coat.
Pestro was dressed as a guy wearing an X-Files t-shirt.
Gotta keep it spooky.
So I mean, Box Art Battles has been about a year since our last episode,
which is why it's wild. So was the last one with Cole?
Yeah.
That was a year ago. That's crazy.
And then we've since tried to do one with Pestro that was not horror themed, but that was a failure. It was just technical difficulties, and here we are. I want to do more regularly. It would be nice. This one, like I said, is horror themed, so they're all horror box arts. But again, my brother put these together for us, so it was up to his discretion on which ones to put in there. I know these aren't like completely random. I think there are actually some, notable horror games in here.
Hope so.
He just kind of cherry picked them himself. But we don't know what they're going to be, and they were randomized completely in a bracket here. So if you don't know what Box Art Battles is, it's a little series we do where we pit Box Art Battle against Box Art Battle to determine which is the best. We got 3 people here voting, so there will never be a tie.
We pit box art after box art in battles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and then the winner, it'll go tournament bracket style until we have one winner of this episode.
Yes.
Each episode's got its own batch. Previously it was just random box art battles. This one's the first themed one in honor of Halloween, October. It's gonna be great. Okay. So are we ready to do the first battle?
Let's do this.
I'm very ready. Let's.
All right.
Okay.
So we have Layers of Fear on the PlayStation 4 versus The Evil Within 2 on the PlayStation 4. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Both have spooky elements. Both are going with the very red blood-esque font. So Layers of Fear, what do we think about Layers of Fear here? The Masterpiece Edition, of course.
I don't know anything. I didn't even know this was a game.
No, I didn't either.
I don't know if I'd heard of Layers of Fear before. I like this sort of like hand-drawn aesthetic. Like it looks like an old painting, like a 19th century painting.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like that's kind of the aesthetic they're going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has like a gothic kind of style to it, which is cool.
Yeah.
I like that it's like a painting on a box. Like it's
it's
cool.
It is kind of interesting. Yeah.
It's almost like the box is a painting.
Yeah. It's almost like, I know they have to keep it for branding reasons, but it almost would have been better if there was like a reverse cover. Maybe there is, I don't know. But it just transforms the whole thing into just the painting. And so you just have the frame of the painting. So, but
it might be just me, but I feel like when I see this picture, I kind of get betrayal that it has something to do with some kind of family horror kind of thing, because there's like the kid, and then there's some
and the kid
older lady.
The kid is either holding a bunch of brushes or a bunch of darts.
Yeah, and
it looks like brushes, and then of course there's a creepy person behind him.
Yeah, there's some hands. Yeah, and then there's a half woman face in the shadows.
Yeah.
All right.
It almost looks like it's turning to like skull-ish. It looks sort of creepy on that. It's overall, I think it's good. I actually really like that.
It's pleasing.
Yeah.
You can tell it's like they're going for a horror style here for sure.
Yeah.
All right, but what about the Evil Within 2? I like the white. I like the white and red.
Mm.
Yeah, I really like the Evil Within 2 cover. Actually, I think it's really cool. It's almost like I feel like the feeling I get out of that is just that the man has some kind of demons that's trying to pull him back or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe some inner demons of his own. Maybe, not sure. Yeah, I think that's a really really cool cover.
It's like that. It's like that. What is it? Is it like Minority Report? Has like that thing.
I don't know. There's a lot of things where there's like.
But there's like that liquid. The person like coming with his face coming out of the
they're
liquid like that.
going down and there's hands coming up.
I do like. Yeah, I do like. It's like they're pulling him into this liquid. You get sort of like this inky sort of thing, like coming around him. You obviously have like the skull and like the face with the no eyes.
Like that bulbous face on the right. Yeah, I'm liking that.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's that. Yeah, and he's like thing.
Yeah.
This is tough. Because I do like this. I like how it is monochrome like that. I mean, obviously the Evil Within 2 is in red, but you've got this grayscale here too.
I think it's really aesthetically pleasing, honestly.
Yeah.
But noticeably the T in the Evil Within, the first T, are they going for like an axe thing? Like it's an axe?
I think it's like a knife. Maybe. Oh yeah, maybe. I think it's more like a knife. I think though, like a knife handle.
I don't mind it.
The handle is like the T part or the cross part of the T, and then the rest of it is like
the
knife. Yeah.
It might just be me. When I look at these two covers, the feeling I get is that this might be just me, but I get the feeling that Layers of Fear. I imagine when I see that, I imagine a game with not the most ideal kind of controls, kind of like Silent Hill kind of controls, I would say maybe. And when I see Evil Within, I kind of picture a game that's more action oriented, maybe with smoother kind of controls, maybe like a third person kind of view.
Yeah,
so
more gunplay with the Evil Within. I think I agree with you there. With Layers of Fear, I get like maybe a first person, maybe kind of janky,
maybe kind of sucky.
Yeah, maybe not good. I'd never heard of it before, so.
I think Layers of Fear might be cool, but it's one of those games that I need to have heard something about it before, and I think if I wouldn't just randomly buy it, I think at the store, unless I've heard something about it before. But Evil Within too, I might pick up because it looks kind of cool actually.
That's what we like to see from box art. You just want to buy it instantly.
I actually own the Evil Within 2, but I haven't even played the first one, so.
Very nice.
But I do.
Just
I love
because of the box art, right?
It's no, I've heard good things about it, and it went on sale, I get it for pretty cheap, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, both covers have something to offer here. Are we ready to vote?
They really do.
All right, Alec, what's your vote?
So props to Layers of Fear because I do like the art. I think with maybe a lesser cover against it, it would have won. But I think the Evil Within 2, I just love that the sort of the monochrome or the grayscale almost gives it like the death kind of feel with the white. Sort of you get this real sense of a chilled kind of horror rather than like a dark sort of horror. So. I don't know. I just love what it's putting down, so I gotta go with Evil Within 2.
Mm-hmm. Pestro, how about you?
Yeah, this may sound like a bit strange, but I think I would have gone with Layers of Fear if it was for the fact that the background wasn't just black. Like if the background had like a cool house, like a haunted kind of house in the background or something, more to the depth, then I think I would have liked that one more because it has that oil painted kind of feel to it. It's pretty nice. It's like gothic kind of feel. Yeah. But as it is with just a black background, I kind of feel like I would probably pass on it. And yeah, I do like the Evil Within 2. I think it looks pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
I would also vote Evil Within 2. Yeah, I know what you're saying. The Evil Within 2 has layers. It's like you can tell if it's a Photoshop file. You got tons of layers going on there with a lot of opacity, variance in opacity.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth there. It's really great. So.
Okay. All right.
Props.
Okay, Little Nightmares on the PS4 versus Until Dawn on the PS4. Okay, this Until Dawn's one I've actually played. I haven't played Little Nightmares.
I haven't played either of these. I've watched both of them be played though. I've watched both of them. I'm very interested in both of them. I think both these games look really great for very different reasons.
Okay, so I'll just say right off the bat, Little Nightmares. I don't usually like games that have the little things, that little blurbs in the corner. They're like, this game includes this expansion pass. That kind of takes away from the box art for me.
It does a little bit. No, I honestly I agree with you. It's like a little too much for too much logos, too many logos. You can put that on the back of the box.
Because now you know. I'm just like, oh, product. I can't get immersed in this box art. This game includes an expansion pack. That's not very nightmarish. Okay. It is the complete edition, though, so you have to give a shout out for that. It includes the secrets in the something.
Secrets of the man? The secrets of
the man, of course.
Secrets of the maw, maybe, is what it is. Maw, like a mouth.
Otherwise, you do have a little beautiful woman on the right, looking down. I like that. a little guy, so you get a sense that you're a little boy or a little thing.
Something. Yeah.
In a big world.
A little cheese head or something. I don't know. He's got an overcoat on.
It looks like an overcoat poncho action. And then the logo itself is like an eye with a little poncho boy in there.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And then is that other thing like a just a statue, or is that another person? Or is that like another weird monstrosity?
It's got to be a statue. If it's not, then it's really not translating well in this box art.
That's a monstrosity, I think.
It's got a sheen to it, but I mean,
maybe he's the server at this restaurant that they're at.
There's no way. He's the same like material as the plates next to him. Right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm very confused about what kind of feeling you're trying to portray with that image. Because like the lady is looking at him like, oh my, like I'm disappointed in you, son. And then the statue is just kind of scary. And then there's dishes, meaning you have stuff to do, I guess. And you're behind, I don't know. It's just kind of like, I'm very confused. I'm very confused.
There's a creepy woman and just a lot of dishes. A lot of work to be done.
From what I remember of this game, there's a lot of like sort of exploration and some like light puzzle solving. So like I'm a little unsure exactly what exactly they're trying to get across here.
Yeah, I mean, if this is actually a horror game, I don't know, but I mean, if it's
kind of a survival game. I don't remember if it's an actual platformer or not. I do remember it seemed to remember it being. I don't know. It's been a while.
This doesn't even give me spooky vibes, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I'm not even that spooked out by the woman. She's just not, she's there.
Yeah. I mean, a game doesn't necessarily have to be a horror to be like a horror genre or survival game or whatever. Just to have some sort of like elements of.
It's very like it gives vibe that they're gonna go for an artsy kind of game.
Yeah. Artsy horror. Artsy. Yeah. Yeah.
So what about?
I feel like
what's that?
I feel like it looks like a cross between Harry Potter and Shrek, the designs.
That's actually that's an interesting comparison. I was getting like
I'm getting Spirited Away.
Yeah, I was getting Spirited Away with like Shrek, which is something I never thought I would ever say in my life.
Which is kind of a match made in heaven. But
no, get out of here. Get out of his. Just get out of his.
Imagine Shrek in Studio Ghibli style. I would like to see that.
Moving on,
okay,
we've got Until Dawn.
So this is obviously a much more simple, but I think it's fairly effective. You have an hourglass kind of thing going into a skull action. It doesn't do much, but I just like the look of the little people. It's a group in the little snowy area.
There's their cabin, their mountaintop cabin.
Because there's a little bit of mystery to it, It's not like you see the main characters right up on the box art. It's like, oh, it's just a group of people. Something's going to happen with them.
Yeah, I have one big complaint there, though. Why is there a trademark after Until?
Until.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Until
I think it's supposed to be Until trademark. Until Dawn. Yeah, at least Little Nightmares has the little thing in down near the S.
Yeah, do it down in the bottom right corner.
Yeah, it's a little weird. That is a little weird, yeah, but no, I really like what this thing does. I love how the part of the hourglass that's sort of going into the skull has these reflections in the eye sockets that make it look like it has eyes. I think that's really creepy. I love how the sand is the snow, because it is a winter setting, kind of like a horror game where I don't remember if it's like they're getting back together for like a New Year's Eve party. I don't really remember exactly or if it's Christmas.
It was really, I forget. It was weird
I
sort of gathering they did. I think.
It was kind of an odd kind of thing. But it's a very horror movie premise, super horror movie premise. And yeah, I get that. But the thing that I really like is that this is all feeding into, yes, you get the skull because there's going to be people that die, but there's this whole time mechanic because the game is very much like you have to sort of there's a lot of elements where the decisions you make, you got to be quick. Time is always ticking away, or people are going to die. And the game does encourage a lot of replayability with that, so that almost also feeds into the whole, like, it's not like Life is Strange where there's actual time travel mechanic, but it sort of feeds into this thing that you can sort of flip it over and try it again.
And there's like your consequences to your different choices. So
yeah,
that does work thematically. How you have the hourglass and the skull.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we're ready to vote, right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I know what I'm voting for.
Okay, I'm voting for Until Dawn.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I really like also how the snow, like the snow in the hourglass is pouring on top of the house. It's almost the house is kind of caving in.
Yeah, the snow is going through the hourglass. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like because the characters aren't really accentuated a lot in the cover, it's kind of like when I see the cover, I get a feeling that anyone could die at any point in the game. Like there's a sort of suspense there where you can't really take things for granted. That because with Little Nightmares, it's kind of like you assume like the main character is probably gonna be alive for the whole game, right? But Until Dawn, either of those characters I feel it could be expendable. It's kind of hard.
They don't highlight one person as this is the main character because there is no main character. There really isn't.
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, cool. And Little Nightmares, it's like, here's the main character, but you're also like, you don't really get a sense of like, oh, this is just a weird, strange world, I guess you're traveling in, or something.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's an acceptable box art, but Until Dawn, I think is
it's okay. It's not remarkable. It's not box art battle quality though.
No.
All right.
We expect nothing but the greatest in this.
All right, here we go. Silent Hill 2 on the PlayStation 2 versus The Last of Us on PlayStation 3.
Oh man, this is tough.
I mean, I love Silent Hill 2, but the cover isn't probably the strongest aspect.
You got a woman. That's about it. You got the woman who's in some sort of distress here, and it's like 50% opacity going on and some grungy colors in there.
So the grunge, here's the thing that I really like about this is that sort of grunge sort of aesthetic. You've got the weird like where Silent Hill, you can read it in multiple places, so it's like they layered Silent Hill on top of each other at different sizes, and it's all kind of like what you said with different opacity. You can even make out some other like words here and there in a few different places. Yeah, they've clearly layered other images on top of each other, so it gives a very like early 2000s vibe for the aesthetic, for sure.
I feel like that layering also portrays like a feeling of that's a psychological kind of horror.
Yeah, it's a fractured kind of.
Yeah. Well, it does feel like a dated almost style. It's like we're not gonna see this game on the PS4 with this box.
Oh no. Absolutely not. This is very much of the time period.
Yeah. So it's really going to be a very subjective, individual taste on that one.
You get this webbing in between the words Silent Hill too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the stuff sort of tangled together. So there's kind of a sense of like, like everything's like that sort of like it does evoke like I don't know. Honestly, don't really know all that much about Silent Hill 2 other than like Pyramid Head. But it just sort of like you think of a spider and that automatically kind of gives you like a kind of like, oh, it's a spider. So like I don't know if there's any like spider things in Silent Hill 2 at all, so I don't know if that's just a stylistic thing or if that's feeding into an actual like theme or if it's just trying to make you feel uneasy, or again feeding into the fractured sort of thing. I don't know, but
I think you're just trying to portray that you're trapped in the city.
oh, maybe
Or
that
the
too.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't remember there were any spiders in Silent Hill 2, but I haven't played in a long time since it came out. So
Yeah. Okay, now how about The Last of Us? I think The Last of Us is immediately just more aesthetically nice to look at, but
Yeah.
I
it's,
like most about it. I like most things about it. Like the city is nice, the overgrown, like vegetation is cool. I don't like the fact that she looks like sad, like kind of like.
well, you
I
want her
don't
to
know.
be happy. Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah. I think it's more like unsure, or I don't
She's-
necessarily think it's sad, but it's definitely serious. It's
She's
definitely a serious look.
concerned. I don't know.
When I see that, I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be one of those.
It's gonna be one of those.
And it is.
Sad girl
it is
kinda
one of
games.
it is one of those games. It's not lying about that.
Yeah, so it's like, do you want to play this game with us? She's looking at you. Do you want to play this? It's fun.
Yeah.
What do you think about The Last of Us font? How it does a little stacking action?
I like it a lot.
You like?
I've always really liked that a lot. I think it does a really good. It has a sense of profoundness to it.
Yes.
Profundity, is that a word? When it's very bold, and you get sort of the slight fading on some of the letters, the L, the O, and the S in particular.
Mm-hmm.
The T also has it too, but yeah, I don't know. I've always really thought that has a sense of like sort of the sweeping seriousness of the plot, I guess.
I mean, it definitely works really well with the box art it has. Like, it would be much less effective if they just moved characters down and put the font up top horizontally. It would be not nearly as striking to the eye.
So
I like
really
the camera perspective too. It's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's again that's almost Dutch angle-ish there too.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be used in times of unease. It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. So
and yet there's like a warmth to it as well because you got the sun in the background. So it's like not all hope is lost.
Yeah. So they're and that's the thing is that's in the background. So that's what they're trying. That's what they're heading towards. Sort of like this hope of the future, but. Yeah, I mean, I like the fact Joel's looking back at Ellie, but she's not even noticing that he's looking at her. You play as Joel through the game, so I remember hearing marketing at Sony really wanted Joel to be on the cover of this game, to like be the prominent character, and Naughty Dog was like, no, Ellie needs to be in the foreground because she's probably the most important character of the game, despite the fact that you play as Joel. It's like, we want her to be on the cover because she's that pivotal of a character, that important of a character, and we want to emphasize that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So, I'm voting for The Last of Us, straight up.
Yeah, I mean, I have to too. I mean, again, I really have... I've never really played Silent Hill 2. I have a lot of good feelings with that box art, though. It's just like... It just evokes that era. And it like the aesthetic of that design is very like that's like what stuff looked like in my childhood, so that was automatically like kind of a sort of a good feeling, which is weird because like the box art makes you feel really uneasy. But yeah, I gotta give it to Last of Us. I think that the whole sense of depth, the imagery, and sort of the symbolism in it is really great. I think it works really well. Not taking anything away from the symbolism of Silent Hill 2, but I think it works better on The Last of Us, definitely.
Yeah, no, same for me actually. I think The Last of Us is I like that one way more. I'm not a huge fan of the CGI on Silent Hill 2. You can see it's a CGI character.
Yeah.
It looks kind of cheap, I think, by nowadays standards. But I also like The Last of Us. Like you talked about, the coloring is really nice, like the light there and how it shines through the city, and the vines going up the buildings, the car on the right or a bus on the right is like trash and the fact they're going through water. It's a really, yeah. The only thing that I don't like is that look on her face. I guess.
Yeah,
That just
she
makes
just
me
looks
always
sad.
gonna,
It's
Just when
like,
people
oh no, it's a
have
a
sad
bad
time.
dream.
it's gonna be a sob story time. I have to care about something.
Yeah, oh no, I have to care about something.
It's like you can't just casually play this with music playing. You have
Yeah.
to fully invest yourself in this game.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. The Walking Dead
Oh,
on Xbox 360 and Dead by Daylight. On
There's a
PS4.
lot of similarities with these
Yeah,
boxes.
I was just thinking with the other one. I was like, the whole Joel Ellie thing is a lot like Lee and Clementine. You know, you play as Lee, but the focus is on the relationship with the girl.
Yeah.
And you know, she's not completely in the foreground, but she's still prominent on the cover here.
Yeah, she's equal with him, hand
I like
in hand.
that. I like that. It's a pretty good. Get a little Ratchet Walker hand there on the left. And I mean, I've always liked the color of that box art for some reason, like the yellowish.
The
hue.
sepia,
Yeah.
almost. Yeah.
it reminds me a little bit of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think they have a similar
Yeah.
kind of sepia coloring, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean I like it. You get a little house in the background, so you can tell they're like planting the seed that it's not just a mowing down zombies kind of game. It's like the focus is on the two characters' relationship, and the zombies just kind of creeping in. So I think it's pretty effective.
Yeah, I think it is. You get a sense of the setting too, like you sort of said with the sepia. That color, obviously, the style of house in the background is very a southern kind of construction style. I don't remember off the top of my head what it's called. I think it's like a salt box or reverse salt box. I don't know. But that style of home is very common in. It's like a farmhouse basically. So, yeah, I think it's quite effective. You get the sense of like dread, but then you have this light in the foreground. That's illuminating the characters as they're looking forward. But there's of course stuff. There's still a lot of bad stuff behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah.
What do we think about Dead by Daylight?
I think that death is not an escape.
Death
is not an escape. I honestly, I really dig this box art a lot. I think you get the real sense of. So it's interesting because like both of these are like their back. The characters' focuses are on their backs.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think it kind of works for a completely different reason with The Walking Dead, whereas this one, the sort of like pose is like a real sense of like menace. He's like hunched over. You see like this like veins popping out of his arm. He's got like I don't even know. Oh, he's got like scars all over his arms. As I'm noticing, it's wearing like a tank top. Of course, he has this mask on, so you can't really see this killer's face. So,
yeah, because it's interesting because the focus is on the killer. But,
yeah,
and it makes sense since the game you can play as the killer as well.
Yeah,
but
yeah, and they even sort of give that sort of asymmetry of the gameplay behind there too, because you've got the four characters here that are like as the slashes, and then the slash through them, which is obviously that's 5, but the slash through them is clearly because the killer is going to be going after those 4 other people. So
because the marketing has always been focused on the killers because it's obviously the more interesting thing. The others are just kind of generic characters, but
yeah, it is very very much the case, and yeah, so you get the sense of this fire. Obviously, there's a lot of like horror motifs with fire, horror motifs with water. There's some water in the background, so that's what like Freddy's with the fire, Jason's with water because Jason's always at like the Camp Crystal Lake or whatever. Then you have like a cabin in the background too. You got like the trees. So you're really getting like this like out in the middle of nowhere, a killer's gonna take care of these like people, the teenagers that are having sex in the woods or whatever, you know.
As you do.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like it. I think you get a sense of like what the game is all kind of about, really, from the box. I think.
Yeah, it may sound silly, but I like the branches from the trees that they don't have any leaves on them. It's kind of like a small thing, but
Yeah, no, you get the fall or like early winter kind of like vibe from it. Yeah.
All right,
So,
here's the
yeah.
thing. I think The Walking Dead is better because, and I'll say it's because of the composition of the box art itself. Look, I don't like too many logos creeping in. They're
You got
creeping in a little heavy.
505
And
behavior and
look,
whatever the other
look,
one is.
special edition's creeping down as well. So you're getting cornered. You're getting pressure in the
You're
middle
getting
there. There's too much going on. The Walking
Yeah,
Dead knows
I
where
guess
to
that's
put
kinda
its
true.
stuff. You know, it's
I guess
got
that's
little
kinda true.
Telltale games. Get the logo up there and the nice open sky. I think it's well composed.
Sometimes those developers have to put that on there though.
I
You know, they
know.
have to put that.
I know, but it's gonna suffer.
It's good.
You have to look at the box art. Look at what I'm looking at. Look at these logos.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of sort of ignore it there because it's not like complete. Well, I guess the special edition is kind of there, but
It's like
you don't get.
it's
I
like
don't
pushing in on them.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do we have more to discuss, or do we want to just go to the vote?
I'm still a little bit uncertain actually, but I will say one thing I don't like about that, but I like is that I think the character occupies way too much space on the cover.
Especially when you take into
Yeah,
account the amount of
maybe.
logos
Yeah,
creeping in.
you're kind of right.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, maybe if he was like pushed out a little more and you get more of this fire kind of illuminating him, I think it would have been even. It might have even been more effective there. Yeah, you might be right.
hmm.
Interesting.
Would
I also don't like-
would you think it would help the box art to have something in the background, like one of the characters like hanging from the back,
Like hanging from one of the hooks or
One of
something,
those
maybe
hooks,
back
yeah.
there. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that would be cool. I also don't like when they add taglines on the box art. I think that's kind
Yeah,
of
that is kind of weird. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Well, I
does
mean,
not
you got a
escape.
Telltale Games series on the other one.
That's
Yeah,
true. That's
it's
true.
like show don't tell kind of thing. If you show me the person on a hook in the background and take that out,
That
And
does not
it's like,
escape. Yeah,
you
that's
get
true.
you get the idea more.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
All right, I vote for The Walking Dead.
I also vote for The Walking Dead because talking about it more, you guys kind of flip my idea. Yeah, I mean, I think they could have. There's things that would have absolutely nailed it out of the park. Yeah, zooming the camera perspective out a little further, getting a little more of the trees, maybe one of the characters on the hooks or something like that, and getting rid of that silly tagline.
So, Pestro,
Yeah, no.
you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's yeah, it's unfortunate because I think that cover could have potential if they just fix
Yeah.
those things. But
I like
As
it a
it
lot.
is, yeah.
But
All right, so that's another 3-0. They've all been 3-0 votes so far.
wow.
That theoretically is good for a tournament bracket. That means like it would be theoretically seeded well.
Yeah.
So the next rounds will have the better ones going against each other. It'll get progressively better. But let's see, we still got half of the first round here. Dead Rising on Xbox
Okay.
360 versus Metro
Oh.
Exodus on PlayStation 4. Okay, well,
Interesting. Okay.
look, you got one's obviously taking itself a lot more seriously in its presentation here.
Yes.
So how much stake do you take in that? I tend to favor that kind of box art in general, but
Silly or goofy?
the serious ones I tend to favor.
Oh, the serious ones you like more. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I feel like on most of ours we've liked the more contemplative tone.
But I mean, that just kind of reflects what I like in general. Like, I generally don't like just mowing down zombies, which is kind of what Dead Rising is. And more of a serious, story-driven, environment-driven experience. But, alright, so what we got? Dead Rising. You got the little guy in the logo itself, the little silhouette.
Yep.
In the D. And then
Yeah, and you have the blood splatter on the.
why does it
rising.
reflect like that, though? The logo reflects on itself down in the... I don't like that. You see how
Because it's like Dead Rising. It's like the dead's coming up.
Okay.
So it's like,
well, I hate it even
well, it's
more.
like or like a mall. Maybe malls sometimes have the have those like little like reflection pools. You've got like
Wait, what?
yeah, like a freaking like a little pool in the mall. Your little fountain or whatever.
You're
It
talking
reflects
about water. How you look at
Yeah,
water reflects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So Dead
what
Rising's
I'm
going for
saying.
that water aesthetic.
Well, not just that, but like malls have tons of. Look, I don't know why it's mirrored.
I
It's
just
weird.
don't like it. And the guy's
I
just
don't-
holding a
it's-
TV, so you know it's like, okay, we're going crazy here. He's surrounded by zombies.
Yeah, it's getting
And
goofy. We're getting
there's an
silly here.
explosion going.
There's an
like, within
explosion
him.
behind him.
It's like in him. I don't know.
Reminds me of a Brain Dead, if you guys have seen that. There's that scene with the lawnmower.
I haven't. But
Party's
I think
over.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the scene.
Oh,
yeah.
I like that he's
yeah.
holding a CRT, an old CRT with
gotta
a
respect the
VHS.
CRT.
Yeah, well, this is what? It was 2005, 2006. So those are still
Yeah.
pretty commonplace.
All right, less respect then. Okay.
I guess so.
I mean, also you are very much aping on, as the box even tells you, that it's definitely drawing some inspiration from Dawn of the Dead because it's of the setting in a mall, and it has to, of course, because they were actually facing a lawsuit at the time because it was set in a mall. This game was not developed, approved, or licensed by the owners or creators of George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, and they won the lawsuit because it's completely stupid. Like, just because you have so many other horror films were set in a mall, like it wasn't just Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is the most prominent example for sure, but like it's not like an uncommon setting for a horror. It's also like great for what they go with in this game is just like you dealing with tons of zombies all at once, just like hordes. And yeah, and it's very silly. It does not take itself seriously whatsoever.
So I feel like it does give a clear idea of what you're going to be playing at least. Like I feel like you know if you'd be into this game just by looking at it.
I like this as Dreams on the right there.
What is it? What?
I like that it says Dreams.
Dreams. Hey, you got some dreams.
Like
you got
that.
the Jade Paradise there. You can see like the food court up in the other corner too. In the left corner, you see the food court.
That makes me nostalgic. I love the 80s.
I
love it.
I love it. Yeah, well, you know Frank West has covered wars, so you know he's gonna be a real serious character here.
Okay. What about Metro Exodus here? It's a very warm box art, right? Very warm.
Symmetry.
I love this box art.
At least sense of symmetry. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but
he's in.
There's a lot of there's a sort of a feeling of that though, with this sort of
Metro Exodus dynamic theme is included. Let's keep that in mind. And it's also inspired by the novels of Dmitry Glukhovsky, of course.
Yep.
Very so it's all white themed. It's like all white and some grays. But I think it's nice. I like it. Aesthetically, it's pleasing to my eye.
It's extremely detailed, especially the tunnel.
Yeah, I love how you see like the rebar and stuff in different parts of the cracks of the opening. You get all the wires all coming in. They're going down in the tunnel because in this game, like humanity is all living underground because I think the overworld is basically like incomplete like nuclear fallout more or less. So it's like they have to live underground, like deep underground, or else you get poisoned just by breathing the air, which is why you have to wear the oxygen tanks. Also interesting that these were picked. One is saying, "Hey, we weren't licensed by George A. Romero. We weren't given permission. We're set in a mall, whatever." The other one is like, "Nah, we are directly. This is basically an adaptation of the novel, which they are set in the same sort of setting as those books." So that's kind of funny.
Yeah. It's like contrasted in every way. Yeah, it's like the opposite side of the zombie horror realm. Yeah. Okay, so I'm voting for Metro. If I'm gonna buy one of these, it's easily gonna be Metro. I don't have either of these games, but like I'm immediately drawn to Metro, honestly.
I like Metro a lot. I especially like how the Metro part of it, you actually get like,
oh yeah,
fonts like that are very. You see fonts like that in public transit. They use stuff like that where they sort of blend all the letters together. I really like that because you think of public transit, which are using tunnels and things like that to get back up to the overworld. Old public transit stuff. The Exodus is also looks like the sort of old ticker that you'd see on like trains and things like that. So very cool aesthetic there. I gotta say, I think I'm actually more torn in this than you might think. I really like Dead Rising's box art just because of how like over the top it is. You really get a sense of what the game is from it. It has like the weird like distorted photograph kind of thing, which that's another thing. Frank West is as a reporter. He's a photographer who's like a Pulitzer Prize winner because he's covered wars. So so you get like this weird like warping like photography, sort of like the light source is all kind of like awkward with that. It's feels very pulp, which is exactly what they're going for with it. And I don't like the Metro Exodus dynamic theme included. I don't really care. Like, who cares? You can put that on the back. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I don't like that. I think the box art would be flawless without that. I got to give it to Metro. The symmetry is too good. It's too good. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but like the whole sense of like, oh, you have this huge wide open world that's all like frozen and desolate and weird and hostile at the same time. You get a sense of hostility from a snow dropped background like this, because you can tell the wind is like whipping too. Like how the snow is not all like gently falling down like a calm. The sky's very gray.
I just want to get in there. And I just want to walk forward. I want to see what waits for me in the snow.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna vote for Dead Rising, actually.
Oh, hey! I almost did. I was this close to, but.
And there's a few reasons for that, actually. So I really like the Metro Exodus cover, actually. I really do.
Yeah.
Like everything you guys said is spot on. Like the details are awesome. The font is amazing. Yeah, no, it looks great. I just that when I look at that cover, I feel like. So when we saw that Last of Us, it had like a similar kind of shot, I guess, where it's like a city and you see, they're walking towards something. But here, like in that, the difference between that one was that you saw they're walking towards a light, and there was also like plants and stuff and like organic kind of feel to it. This one is just cold and bleak, and there's nothing he's walking towards. And when I see the cover, I'm imagining it's gonna be a game where I'm just gonna walk around a lot, and there's not gonna be anyone. Like it's just gonna be like
just
empty.
a lot of snow.
That's just a lot of snow.
That's kind of feeling I'm getting out of it, and I'm just gonna get kind of like bored. I feel that's just the feel I get out of the cover. I mean, by looking at it, but it still looks really cool. Like it does. It's just that I wish there was something to it that would make me like want to jump in. I think a little bit more. But Dead Rising just looks like plain fun to me when I see that. It's just like, all right, I kind of know what I'm getting myself into. It looks just like a Friday night kind of crack a few beers kind of game.
Yeah, zany and wild and goofy and fun. Yeah.
If you're looking for just a fun time, you can hook up with Dead Rising. But I'm looking for something a little bit more long term. A little serious relationship. I'm going with Metro. So.
Yeah, it's real tight for me. It's literally neck and neck. I mean, I could flip it on another day. I could flip it right now, actually. Honestly,
I wouldn't.
You're gonna have to be the judge here. Coin flip.
Actually, yeah, I might honestly do that.
No way, dude.
No, yeah, let's do it.
How about you just err on the side of the one you already chose?
Full Metal. Okay, so Full Metal. We got all the metal on here.
You make a mockery of
the Alchemist symbol. Alchemist symbol will be Dead Rising. All right, so here we go. All right, well, I'm going with Metro Exodus.
Oh,
so
wow.
there we go.
Bold move.
Bold move right there.
Rigged coin flip.
It kind of was. Let's be honest, I didn't really flip it that hard.
Nice.
All right, moving on. 3, 2, 1. Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation 1 and Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly on the PlayStation 2. Okay. All right, now we're getting similar eras going on here.
Yeah.
But, all right, Resident Evil 2, it's all black. I mean, the PlayStation logo is just bled right into box art. You got all black, and then there's a little zombie creeping in, holding on to some wall. Crusty bluish wall.
Yeah, some weird crusty bluish wall. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never liked the Resident Evil 2 box art.
I don't like
I've never been a fan. I think it's classic. It really gives you, oh yeah, Resident Evil 2 is such like a great game. It's such a beloved game. I've never liked the box art. I've always thought it doesn't really do much to, yeah, okay, it's like zombies, I guess, creepy, but like it doesn't really tell you much of anything about the game.
Yeah.
Like nothing about like the set in a police station, nothing about like any of that. Like you could throw little tiny little details in there that kind of give you the indication of where it's set or sort of what kind of zombie setting it is, but
and especially now the zombie's not very attractive. It's just not, doesn't do anything for you, just the zombie itself.
Yeah,
it kind of looks like a lizard almost with that eye.
It could be any
looks
sort
more
of creature.
lizardy. Yeah, it doesn't really look even much like a zombie, honestly, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't like the eye. Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Yeah, it's a shame because I think the first Resident Evil box art was amazing. So yeah, I remember when this came out too. I was very disappointed with the box art. Yeah, I never been a fan either of this one.
I don't like how he's holding the 2 between his fingers.
He's like, yeah, I got the 2.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fatal Frame 2. Crimson Butterfly. We got 2 girls chilling in the middle. Some red butterflies, some red around the sides. Crimson butterflies, you might say. And they're surrounded by candles and a red rope attached to them. Great.
This is okay. So I don't think it's the greatest box art ever. What I do like about it is that it's very it's being very like, this is Japanese horror. You've got like the creepy girls with the long hair, totally aping off like Ju-on or The Ring.
Yeah.
You've got like the red cord of fate, which is tying both of them together, which is very like sort of Asian kind of the sort of red strand thing that's tying both of them together. I don't really know how that plays out in the game, but I'm pretty sure Fatal Frame always sort of has like, so that kind of like that concept is at play, at least in this one. I know I've heard it being referenced in other games. I don't know, but yeah, it's, I don't know. I almost feel like it's just too far away. I know like the girl, the creepy like faceless girl that's really far away, that's just kind of still in like a traditional outfit is like that's a very classic thing. I almost feel like maybe it's too far away.
For sure, but it's like almost like they're trying to hide something, like it doesn't look good up close, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, maybe, but also the Fatal Frame's always been about like taking pictures, so you do get like a sense of like, this is just sort of a crummy photo that's been taken too.
Yeah, but I almost feel like they could have played into that more. Like they could have made it more.
Yeah, that's true. Sure.
And made it a little nicer photo too. Like as a photo, I don't really like it.
Yeah.
I would have still gotten in there more.
It is creepy. I will say that it is fairly creepy. I do think it's. I don't love it, but I think it's effective enough at being kind of
like, yeah. The only thing I know about these games is the photography stuff, and it's horror. So I have no idea where the Crimson Butterfly comes into it. There's just kind of butterflies there, but I don't know.
Maybe that ties into the butterfly effect, possibly. I don't know.
No way.
I don't know.
No way.
I'm not talking about that terrible Ashton Kutcher movie. I'm talking about like the.
I don't like either of these box arts, honestly, but.
Well, Pestro,
what do
thoughts about Fatal Frame 2 box art?
Yeah, no, I agree with you that it's not amazing, but it gets the point across, I feel. If there's one thing I do like about it, it's the contrast in the colors, that the white and the red sticks out a lot.
We saw
brownish
Evil Within too.
Yeah, and it looks like you're in some kind of old cave mansion-ish kind of thing, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's gets the point across, Japanese horror, and it's somewhat fits the style. But Resident Evil 2 is just, to me, I've never been a fan. Yeah. Even the logo, like, doesn't. It's like what's that, like concrete?
The font is weird too. Yeah, it's like
they made this in Photoshop. Like they straight up just added a little effect on it.
The little effect,
and they added the little outer glow, made it red. I could have done this logo.
Yeah.
I can
It
do
looks
that
like
logo right now.
it looks like they got the co-op to do that because everyone else was busy working on the game or
And
something.
look,
Yeah, like
I don't look, I
the
don't like
R
how
being like having like the little like ooh
yeah, I
like
don't like how
especially with
the V dips into the
V
underline.
dips.
I
See,
don't like
here's the
that.
thing. Here's the thing. The font almost kind of comes across as like a type form font. Like, like how you would, and maybe in an old police station where you would put stuff on a typewriter. It almost comes across like it's very formal feeling like that. But then you've got like the weird like the V that dips down, the R that comes like it's like the curly R. It's it doesn't work.
Yeah, the underline looks like a mustache. It's kind of shaped like a mustache. I don't know.
I
The
mean,
Resident Evil.
Fatal Frame 2. I'm gonna vote Fatal Frame 2. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah,
I
me
wish,
too.
I wish they had zoomed in more, but at the same time, I think Resident Evil could have zoomed out a bit, get away from that face. It doesn't look very good.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I think just stylistically it works better.
yeah. Fatal Frame also doing that like early 2000s thing with like the font layering the different like font and being like ooh it's like uneasy
Yeah.
but yeah I got to do Fatal Frame 2. I actually really it's not great. I like it for its effectiveness. It doesn't blow my mind, but I do think it's a decent enough box art for sure.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, moving on. Dying Light on Xbox One versus Dead Space on Xbox 360. Good night, good luck.
Yeah, Dying good night, good luck like.
I hate it.
That's what I'm calling
I mean, I like everything else except for that, honestly, at first glance.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like the stylistic effect of how it's bleeding. The face is bleeding into the background, and then the hands come up with it. And then the contrast in color, it's dying light. You got dark, and then you got light.
Smearing down a little bit too. That's kind of cool.
And get a little, someone smudged it, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's almost
like good night, good luck.
I don't know what that is. Was that like a DLC for Dying Light or something? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Was that on the original box art? Like I don't know if I've ever seen.
I'll investigate it.
Again, yeah, I don't know who thought it was a good idea to add taglines in the box art, because that's something you would do in movies, right? But movie posters, but on video game box arts, I don't think it works personally.
No. Not unless it's like a really like zany kind of weird sort of game.
Yeah.
Like it almost would have worked on Dead Rising. Like you could have had it towards the bottom, and it would have felt like a silly movie poster. Like the different missions for like Left 4 Dead all have their own movie posters, and those all have like a tagline, and they're great. Those are all great because they feel like just a pulp zombie junk basically, and that's why they work so well. Yeah, it is weird with a game to have a tagline like that.
I actually really like the cover otherwise, though. I think it's amazing. Like
I agree.
The charcoalish kind of way it's drawn, the face on the left, and it's almost like the light has died out of that character, and it's just hands and insanity screaming, and then you see the city underneath there, and the layering is amazing.
Yeah, I think it works really, really well. Yeah, I agree. So the offset, I like how the fonts are different colored and everything. It does work really well. I do really like I do like that idea. So
my results were inconclusive on that. I was hoping it would be a quicker find. I just did it on my phone. I was hoping it would be like DLC, not DLC, but I saw box arts that had it and didn't have it. So we just have to take it at face value. And I will say I do not like Good Night, Good Luck, regardless.
Yeah,
even if it was the DLC, it would have been better just horizontally across the bottom, if anything. Like, why is it all on the dying side? There's no love for the light. Okay, so what about Dead Space?
I'm not gonna lie, I love this box art. It's very simple. Some people might even say, that's crap, but I don't know. I think it's so effective at, so like the phrase, this is actually what I was just looking up, is the phrase Dead Space actually has a couple different meanings, which are, if memory serves, are kind of played upon in the game itself. So Dead space is like a photography term. That's not really an application. It's air that's inhaled by the body in breathing, but does not partake in gas exchange. So it's basically like that's like you're breathing, but you're not getting any benefit from breathing. So it's basically like that's more or less suffocation what's happening. Even though you're trying to breathe, but there's no gas exchange because it's not oxygenated or nitronized. So, which works because obviously space is an area where there's not really air. But obviously also works because it's a zombie game in space, so it's dead space. And obviously you get this whole idea of being out in space. You get the whole space behind you, space. You get this whole wreck, and then you have the severed hand floating through space. Whose severed hand? I don't know, but it sure makes you know exactly what you're in for. That you're in for a violent game in which, so you think like you get like alien vibes from it almost from that.
Can I be honest? It looks like it could just be a hand ripping through something. like at the bottom, it's like it's
not really
coming out.
Not really.
That's
if there was more, if there was like a hole with like metal underneath it, I would be inclined to agree with you.
The hand is breaking through, and you see the crumbling is because it freaking broke through.
No, that's just space. Debris.
I don't like it.
Okay. Well,
look, it's okay. It's okay, but I've always kind of, even just in gaming in general, I've always been kind of turned off by it. Like I never had interest in it just because it looked so.
I do like this box art a lot.
It doesn't do anything for me just looking at it, so I never had interest in playing it.
I actually kind of agree with you, Zach. There, I'm not a huge fan of it.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. I do agree with you though that it has that alien kind of feel to it. I think especially with the glow on the font, and there's a little bit of a glow on the hand too. Kind of reminds me of that alien egg. But
you get kind of like you sort of like artificial light kind of vibes from it, like this being emitted from the space station.
Yeah.
Or the ship.
It definitely gives a point across of isolation, I think, which is cool.
And you know that person was struggling too, because not only
broke through and they're bleeding.
Yes, they broke through and they're bleeding. No, but like you see the scratches and like the blood splatter on the glove itself. So
yeah,
there's even some scar tearing on the fingernails. Yeah. I don't know. Oh. I've always really appreciated. I've always really liked that box art. I think it really gets the point across. But
here's the thing. I think even if it was the most bold and like beautiful, simplistic box art ever, I don't think I could ever award it over Dying Light, which I think is just so good by itself.
See, here's the thing that I'm gonna be honest. The thing I'm actually not crazy about with Dying Light, I like almost all of it, but the yellow, I get that they're like doing like it sort of does contrast with the sort of grays in the left half, but there's just something about the yellow and brown that just doesn't do it for me there. I don't know what other color you could have work, honestly. I don't really like it. It almost looks like he's sneezing out, like there's like a strand coming out of his nose there, almost looks like from like the yellow and brown. Yeah.
It gives a pretty cool contrast though, because you have the light in the background, and the closer the zombies are coming towards the screen, the more black.
That is true. That's true.
Yeah, I think the only alternative would to be just leave it all white aside for the zombies in the buildings, which I don't think that would be as effective, honestly. But
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
All right, let's vote. I'm voting Dying Light.
I'm voting Dead Space. I'm sticking by my guns. I really love this box art. Dying Light, don't get me wrong. I sing praises very similarly in other box arts. Just Dead Space really does it for me. I think it's simple and effective. But there's a lot of points going for Dying Light, so I'm not upset if it wins, which is probably going to. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Dying Light. Yeah. But yeah, the more we talked about Dead Space, actually, now that I started thinking about the alien look, I mean, the more actually I can see the appreciation of it a bit more. But I'm a huge sucker for anything that has this kind of like hand-drawn kind of look in general as well. And the charcoal is just Oh
I
man,
do
with the
like
hands there.
yeah,
I really
the
like that.
charcoal. It's a very strong aesthetic.
Yeah.
I do really like that a lot. You're
And
right.
Dead Space
So-
does have this blemish in the bottom right corner. We talked about this in previous box art
I was
battles.
say
There's a
the
little
EA,
blemish.
a little blemish, the EA logo. Yeah, that is a little bit of a blemish. Yeah, you should have had.
Could have put a different developer there. That would have been nice.
Well, what was it? Who was it? Who was it that made these games?
I don't
shoot.
know.
Not Pandemic. Another studio that they closed down. Vicarious? No. Shoot. Visceral Games. Yeah, I knew it was like a V word. Also gonna say, I hate the other two box arts a lot. I don't like them. The Dead Space 2 is just like, it's Isaac's mask.
I hated that
Like,
one too.
I don't like it. And the Dead Space 3 is, there he is, Action Boy Isaac. Like, just go back to this horror stuff. The horror stuff is good.
All right, so last battle of the first round. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Alan Wake on Xbox 360 versus Luigi's Mansion on GameCube.
That's funny. That's fun.
I like both of them, honestly. First of all,
I do too.
A psychological action thriller. I really have to tell you that one straight up, just so you know. Alan Wake.
Yeah, you do need to know that it is a psychological action thriller.
Luigi's Mansion should have said a fun, it's a sucking up ghosts game.
Goofy, yeah, sucking up ghosts is all the rage. I don't know.
So Alan Wake, I feel like Alan Wake is one of those box arts I've seen like way more than I should have for a game I've never played. I just see it all over the place.
That makes me so sad.
I know. I do see it way too much. I agree.
No, I love Alan Wake so much. I see it. It's prominently up on my gaming shelf there. I love this game. I love this box art. You've really got the whole. Okay, so things I really love about it. They're kind of showing you already, like, kind of what the game feels like in general. You've got the flashlight. He's holding a pistol. Flat light is very, very important in Alan Wake. So you do have him. So he's shining a light into the darkness that's ahead of him. You know that it's setting in the woods. If you know anything about like geography and how it sort of works here, you can tell that this is the Pacific Northwest because you got these very, very tall mountains and pine. I live in an area where there's a lot of pine. The Northeast has a lot of pine and a lot of tall mountains too, but nothing quite as drastic as you typically see especially in fiction, but I mean, even in the real Pacific Northwest, that's very frequent, having these long slopes, these big cliffs and things like this. The details, devil's in the details, the fog coming in through the logo, and kind of consuming the logo. Again, fog is a very important motif and thing that happens a lot in Alan Wake. Yeah, I love this box art. I love it. I think it's great. And it's effective. It tells you a lot about the game already. It's Alan Wake. Who's Alan Wake? He's probably that guy. He's got a flashlight and a gun. It's gonna be kind of spooky, I guess.
Probably a psychological action thriller.
It's probably gonna be a psychological action thriller.
Got a feeling.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I feel like it's funny that he's creating an A too, because
he is. Yeah.
I would assume he's Alan. That's why A.
Yeah.
Alan Wake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's one of those classic typography things where you have the image in the background and just kind of see through text. Is always nice.
Yeah.
And this is one of those rare instances where I do like the reflection style of the text on the bottom.
Yeah.
I think it actually works here pretty well.
It does, yeah.
Pestro, what do you think?
No, I definitely agree. I think the fact that you can see through the font there, it kind of also makes it like you get a point across that it's kind of like an exploration heavy kind of game. I haven't played it actually, but that's kind of the feel I get from it. But it looks super cool. I really like Alan Wake's cover actually. I think it's pretty dope. And the fact that he's pointing the flashlight towards you as well means that he's going through, you're going through his view and just you know, in the exploration and through the fog and just, yeah, I think it really sets the tone.
And I surprisingly don't mind a psychological action thriller on the top. Usually I don't like that stuff, but it kind of works here because if you didn't have that, it would probably be just too much, just blank space up there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's true. It could have been like a really bad cheesy tagline like we've seen before. So it
Yeah,
could have been
but
worse.
it's almost working in kind of almost serious sort of like Kojima-esque way, where it's like Kojima, the subtitles he always gives with those games, or sort of the it tells you what the genre is more or less.
mm-hmm.
So with his tactical espionage action is usually what he does in, but like that's what Metal Gear Solid is, or I think is what it is. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like my Kojima fan card should be taken away now. But I think that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, it's a very Remedy thing. Remedy's always very focused on like storytelling and like how can we blend storytelling with gameplay, and how can we sort of like we want to tell a story like a book or like a film, and how can we play with that within the medium of video games.
This could pass for like a book cover or a movie cover if you just moved a little bit around.
Alan Wake is an author in the game, by the way. It's very the thing that I love a lot about this game is that it feels very like it's like Stephen King meets Twin Peaks.
Nice.
I mean, Twin Peaks obviously for the setting, but like and some of the psychological stuff, but like it feels very like it's very Stephen King also. I think he even starts the game with Stephen King once said or something like that. I think the opening narration says something like that. So it's very clear what they're inspired by. But they just do. I love Remedy. I think they just do a fine job. I think they did a great job with the box art. I think the box art very pretty.
Can you imagine if instead of a psychological action thriller, it just says like, "Don't forget your flashlight."
or Stephen King once said.
And then it's like the box art is trash. Then like,
oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah, no, it's very true.
Don't forget your flashlight.
Don't forget your flashlight. Yeah, I would hate this box art if it said something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know why they have an R there at the end. That always bothers me. The trademark.
Yeah, you always got to trademark everything.
You got to trademark your wokeness.
Yeah.
All right. Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion's got trademark too.
How do we feel? The gang's all here. You got Luigi's scared face and all the ghosts popping out.
I'm not gonna lie. There's one thing that's always sort of bugged me about this. Why is Luigi's head there and not his body?
What?
I've never liked his body not being there.
His body's not there at all. Yeah.
It's very weird to me, and it's always bothered me.
Yeah, they could have at least had it fade off, but he's like, the head's already decapitated before you even get to the black.
Everything else about this box art is great. You get like a sense of it's going to be very goofy. There's like the ghosts all have sort of silly, kind of like Casper the Ghost look to them. You get the classic boos.
And his right hand is up a little higher than his left hand. What's up with that?
It's like he's like ah. It's like he's like you know.
Yeah, I feel like they're going for that painting, the scream.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, it's actually wow. That's a deep cut if that's actually what they're intending to go for. Yeah.
And then Luigi's Mansion's always had an interesting font. Little squiggly going on, little eyes on all the different letters except for S
and
N. Why do they get into love?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't understand why the S and the N didn't get any eyes though. All other letters got eyes.
It's only the final N. The N in mansion got eyes.
Both S's do not get eyes.
Yeah.
It's a cardinal rule in box art. Do not put eyes on an S.
Then they could have like a spooky. They could look like a spooky snake ghost or something. You know.
Yeah, it does not look good. Like, it's just a snake at that point.
Yeah, I guess.
So, I do. Yeah, in general, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But why? I don't see why they needed to have two boos. You could have had.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that same thing.
I was going to say.
Like, give a little love to a different ghost or something.
Or you could have had Egad in the background or something. Maybe. I don't know. Well, I guess maybe Luigi wouldn't have been terrified if Egad was there.
Yeah, you could have had just put a crown on that Boo at least. King
Or
Boo,
King
make him king.
or make it King Boo. Because neither of those are King Boo. King Boo
Like,
has like the big like sags under his eyes. He's like
because
really really creepy
it's
looking.
not perfect symmetry they're going for either. You know, you got two on one side, three on the other, so you could just make him bigger, make him King Boo lurking in the back, and then it's like, okay, they're all different.
Where's Slimer? All right, that's what I want to know
Who's
from
Slimer?
Ghostbusters.
Oh, from
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like also
Who's
that there's a background behind with like the trees and stuff. It's kind of warped. It has like that folktale kind of feel to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, almost like Tim Burton-y sort of.
Yeah, Tim Burton. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's what's his? It's I don't remember the exact style that he apes. It's like a European. It's like an Eastern European, super exaggerated kind of thing that he does. But yeah,
In general, I really like it though. It's just like it really sticks out. We ready
it's
to
the game
vote?
that gave it's the game that gave Luigi's personality. Really,
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion. This game series really sort of set Luigi more apart from Mario than he had been before. I'll give it started. I'm voting for Alan Wake.
All right.
All right. I mean, Zach's obviously biased with his outfit today, I guess.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'll vote for Alan Wake. Actually,
Oh wow. Okay.
I think in terms of box art, like if I were to see these, I'd be much more. If I didn't know what they were, I'd be much more likely to grab Luigi's Mansion because I'm just always partial to like colorful stuff
Mm.
and like Nintendo feel in general. But I think Alan Wake, in terms of a box art composition, is just better. Like,
Blues
there's
and
no-
grays here too. We got blues and grays.
Like there's no
cool.
there's not much wrong with Luigi's Mansion's box art, but there's nothing I can point to really nitpick Alan Wake. And there's a couple of nitpicks for Luigi's Mansion, so
Yeah. The nitpicks have it.
Yeah, I kind of agree actually. I do like Luigi's Mansion actually a lot. It looks fun, like that cover. It looks like
Yeah.
a good time.
Mhm.
But Alan Wake is, in my opinion, I think it's a pretty damn good box art.
Mm.
I really like the fog. That adds a lot to it. Yeah,
It's like a
I'm
mystery
gonna go
to
Alan
it.
Wake.
It's a
Yeah.
that's sort of the mystery. Yeah.
I kind of want to find out exactly what that is, and yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're going to round 2 of episode 3 of Box Art Battles, otherwise known as the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Right? So it's between The Evil Within 2 and Until Dawn.
Okay. Okay. This is got heavy hitters here, huh?
Look, I still like The Evil Within 2 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Aesthetically, it's very striking to me. It sticks out. Honestly, Until Dawn in its simplicity is effective, but I'm leaning towards The Evil Within 2 just based on, I think there's a little bit more depth to it in general, and I generally like that, but I don't know. I could be convinced otherwise. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, this
So,
is a tough one, I think.
So, like, what's going on with Until Dawn? Like the background of Until Dawn? Is it supposed to be like the lake frozen over? I think that's kind of what I'm getting from it. It almost looks like like snowfall on a lake or something.
Really?
Maybe.
It looks like,
I don't know.
It looks like almost like a hill, overlapping with another.
A hill overlapping with another hill?
Yeah, I don't like a mountainish thing.
I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to be, really.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be like a glimpse through a window in the cabin to see the hell outside? Like, I don't know.
It could be, yeah. So that's not very clear.
Yeah, but again, the small details. So there are still small details in the Until Dawn that I really like. Again, the sort of eyes inside the skull, the eye sockets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's really creepy, and I think that is very daunting. And I like that. It's cool.
Yeah, I really liked how the snow kind of drips on the
On the
cabin.
house there. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about it, like I like that part, it's awesome, but I think
Yeah.
the left part of the cover there's literally like nothing. It's just kind of
No
Yeah,
love. Yeah.
I feel like there could have been just like maybe a slight other detail. I know it's like keeping it simple is sometimes a really good idea, I think the details in the skull and in the hourglass and all that are really great. But yeah, it's like it's just missing that one extra thing to really bring it over the edge, and that's kind of
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Evil Within's got the details down. I
Yeah.
like that. That's sort of I think its strength.
We talked about how we talked about the kind of vagueness to it and how they showed the people from a distance and Until Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of there's something intriguing about it, but at the same time, I almost feel like Until Dawn. If I just saw the cover, I don't know if I would really be sold on it because I really don't know what I'm getting into at all. It's like you have some sort of death and time, but you know, I don't know. Because I remember I got Until Dawn because I had heard about it. So then when I got the box, it was kind of like, oh, okay, not what I expected, but I just don't know if it's a good. It represents some elements of it, but might not give you enough to really pull you in. I don't know.
This may sound weird, but I would love Until Dawn more if it's actually a movie and not a game. Because as a game, I'm not sure what it's trying to portray in terms of gameplay and in terms of, like, for a movie cover, that's awesome. But yeah. And also the font is kind of boring. I feel it's very like generic.
It's like that's kind of a thing where like I think the sort of background playing with it a little more would have been more interesting. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But,
you interact with the logo in some way, like give it more of a style to it, other than because it's just like straight up centered.
Yeah, I mean, like whatever's there in the background is kind of already sort of like affecting it. Like there's little lines through it, but I don't know what they mean. I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm looking at there in terms of that. So
yeah. So I mean, it sounds like we're just pointing all our criticisms on Until Dawn.
It is.
Is there anything about Evil Within 2 that you don't like particularly?
So I'm not. I don't know if I'm actually sold now that I'm looking about like the black inky parts. Like I don't know what that adds.
I don't know what that really does.
Yeah. I do. Here's the thing. One thing I like is that I don't know if you can actually tell who's holding that gun. I think it's supposed to imply that it's him. But those look like almost like they're two hands that belong to different people.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of hands getting involved here.
Yeah, because you look at the creepy hands that one looks like it's like a gremlin hand or like a monster that's like grabbing him. He's got his gunsling here, and then the other hand is a different person that looks like they're grabbing him. Maybe it's the bulbous eye guy that's just grabbing him. I don't know. But then you've got a hand. The right hand is one that's got like a cloth up over it, almost like a clergy or like a nun would have, and then the other hand belongs to another hand or another person because it doesn't have that thing that comes up to the knuckles.
Maybe a ring involved.
They have a golden ring that looks like it's sort of like been there a while because it's doing the sort of greening thing that gold can sometimes do on your finger if you don't take care. If you don't take it off and wash it, gold can kind of like discolor like that, and it's like affected their hand. A lot of just the details are just awesome. I think both of these, for where they have their details, are the more you look at it, the more you get out of it, and I love stuff like that.
What I will say is that I think the Evil Within 2, like I would want to play it more just by looking at it. And you get the gun aspect, but other than that, I don't have any idea what it would play like, honestly. Until Dawn is kind of similar, where you get some elements you could kind of guess there's some time element, but it doesn't immediately tell you what it's going to be like.
Yeah, there's one thing I'm not a huge fan of with Evil Within 2, and it might be like a silly thing, but I feel like the background portrays this whole feeling of madness, and that madness is kind of consuming him. That's kind of what I feel when I look at it. But he kind of looks like content, like happy, like he's like I got this, and it's kind of odd.
He's almost like it's almost like he's coming. He's like at terms with like some of it, or it's like he's meditating it away or something.
If you could furrow that brow a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe a little more. Maybe even like gritting his teeth or something. A little something extra. Maybe even tears coming out of his eyes, which doesn't look like he's something a little extra. In his face. I think you're right.
Right.
And also his clothes are very clean except for that rip on the shoulder. But otherwise, it's just
the tear.
Mhm.
Well, the tears into him, or the blood. There's the one on his.
because
The
Heck
shirt
there,
looks
too, so.
nice. Looks like it was pretty nice.
It does, yeah.
before.
I would think that if he is ready to be consumed by madness, he should already be past the point where he's,
Yeah.
his clothes should be
Mhm.
reflecting that. I feel so.
Especially
I
since
just feel like
this is a sequel to the first Evil Within. It's the second Evil Within. He should be a little more.
That one had a really good box art too, if I remember correctly. Which we're not judging now, but I do remember it having a pretty good one. Wherever.
All right, I'm gonna vote
Have it.
for the Evil Within 2.
Yeah, I think it's actually a tough one. I feel, but I think I'm gonna go with the same one. To be honest, I feel like it's marginally better. Like it appeals to me marginally more, I should say.
Yeah,
But I think I think the other one.
I do like conceptually what Until Dawn did, but
Yeah.
could be
Right.
more.
Yeah, I think the Dead Space in Until Dawn logo.
Yeah.
I think No, honestly, I think that's to me is its only weakness. I think all of the details in the Hourglass are just so. I think they're really rich. But yeah, I think just beat for beat, I think the Evil Within, just because they're able to fill it in so well. Not too crazy about the whatever the black sort of ink kind of thing is. Again, I don't know what that's really what that's doing. It's almost like I almost wonder what it would look like without it, But
Yeah.
But I think I have to give it to the Evil Within 2 also, just for the sake of details. I think Until Dawn may have had a contender against any other thing in this bracket, but I don't know.
All right, next up we have Here He Comes, The Last of Us versus The Walking Dead, the battle of the guy and young girl relationships.
It's true.
Look, the Dutch angle's good.
Yeah.
We don't like that she's sad. Look, we don't like that. We don't like sad girls. But at least Clementine, I know her on a first name basis. Clementine's looking up to Lee.
I do. So here's a detail that I like about this. Lee's not looking back down at her.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So she's like looking up expectantly at him, but he's like he's just focused on what he needs to do. He's holding her hand, so he's there for her, but it's like, yeah, I kind of like that.
I almost
sort
feel
of
like
thing.
him looking back would have gotten that message across a little more. I do like them looking away, but it's like if he was really being observant, he would be concerned about the zombie while she's just looking up to him. But
Yeah, I know which I'm gonna vote for.
oh, he's got it. Well,
I think I have mine too, honestly.
what do you think? I'm not 100%, but
I'm still. I think The Last of Us is just so strong. That's me personally. I think I like The Walking Dead. I think it works really well with this whole comic aesthetic too. You've got the really good because while this seems to be using the in-game character models for Lee and Clementine here, that looks like they just straight up just pulled some art, like somebody actually drew that zombie, like the jank hand. The background doesn't look like it's in-game or anything like that. I do think it had a lot going for it. I think it's strong in terms of the tone. It's it's almost monochrome too. But I just think the small details in The Last of Us, like I sort of said, the symbolism, him looking back at her, but
they both have looking
her
involved
focus.
in both box arts.
Yeah, there is looking involved in both of them. In this one, it's he's looking at her and she's not looking at him. She's almost, again, like it's almost like she's looking back at a time where this wasn't like a thing. I may be projecting totally into this because I love The Last of Us, but
Is she looking at us?
She might be looking at us. She's like, are we gonna do this? Are we gonna win?
Are you coming?
Are you coming? Are you
We're
coming?
gonna have fun.
No, we're not gonna have fun. Well, yeah, and the other one, he's not looking at her. In that one, it's almost like he's focused on what needs to be done and like the path ahead.
Look, I do like the lighting in Last of Us too. I do like
That's the other thing. Very strong lighting. Very.
But I do really like the sepia in Walking Dead as well, though.
Yeah, the contrast sort of basically everything that's happened around them, but sort of the hope that they're headed towards towards the end of the city. Yeah,
I almost like
really
the fact that we're looking at Lee and Clementine, The Walking Dead, and like rather than them kind of looking at us, because it is just kind of looking in on their story in their relationship. Whereas
from the zombie's perspective, I guess too. Here he's like, ah.
Whereas The Last of Us, it's more about like drawing us in, like looking at us.
It is, yeah.
How do you feel, Pestro?
Well, I feel there's a few reasons why I prefer The Last of Us. The first, the angle. I much prefer that camera angle versus the one on Walking Dead. I feel like Walking Dead is a little bit cliche. Like the house in the back there just looks like I don't know, just kind of bland, like a classic. Like they just tried to come up with the most generic house.
A generic like farmhouse, basically. Yeah. And it's just I mean, I do like like you guys said, I like the sepia as well. I think it's pretty cool. I like the grass, the contrast between the grass in the foreground, and it kind of goes, fades out. But I feel like it's slightly a little bit cliche. And then the camera angle is just like straight ahead, nothing really interesting there. Doesn't really portray anything. It's very like foreground, midground, background.
Yeah.
It is pretty clear. Yeah, I get what you're throwing down there. Yeah, it is kind of cliche in that. Yeah.
And The Last of Us, I also really like that the contrast between like the organic feel with the vines and the buildings and stuff, and then the city looks deserted and post-apocalyptic, and then the water that they're treading through the water. That's a great symbolism too, that they're treading through mud almost to get to the light. And it's going to be a journey. It's going to be quite epic, I feel, when I look at that.
Yeah. It's the road.
Yeah, and also the organic feel also probably accentuates a little bit that, with her look on her face, that it's going to be a little bit more human.
The unease, yeah.
So I thought you didn't like the look on her face.
I don't, yeah, but I think
you just want everybody to smile.
This is a horror game.
Yeah, but I think it's coherent at least. But I don't like that.
Could smile a little bit. Jeez.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Are we really going there? We're criticizing a woman for not smiling on a box art.
I wonder what you're voting for, Alec.
Huh? Oh, I'm voting for The Last of Us for sure. Absolutely.
I'm voting for The Walking Dead as a sympathy
vote.
Okay. You can do that.
Pestro?
Yeah, I will vote for The Last of Us.
You could have taken advantage of my vote, and you could have manipulated the whole system. Could have faked your argument to bring out my sympathy vote. All right, next up we have Metro Last Exodus. What is it? Just Exodus? Okay.
Yeah, Metro Last Exodus. What? Metro Exodus
versus
dynamic theme included.
Fatal Frame 2. Come on.
So the more I look at the Fatal Frame 2 box art, the more I like it.
You're not liking it.
The more I like it.
You're kidding yourself. Come on.
I do like it.
What do you like about it? The idea of a crimson butterfly, maybe that comes into play. You're really excited by the butterfly.
Okay, I mean, just look at the font though. Like the font's not typical, right? So like you've got the T that looks like, it's like an upside down cross, which is like, that's totally in Japanese horror. They would totally ape Christian imagery, right? Mm-hmm. That's totally a thing that they. No, I'm just making stuff up.
No, I love it. I do love it. No. I do like that.
No, but... I mean, the more I look at it, the more I do think it's pretty good. But I mean, I'm sorry, but like symmetry from a brain, I really like the Metro one.
It's just so much more clean. I mean,
I just don't like that stupid dynamic theme included. That the more I see that, the more I hate it. The more I think that's a blight on the box art.
That might come into play in a big way.
It might.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna vote for Metro right now.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Well, okay, Pestro. Do you have any specific thoughts?
No, Metro for sure.
Okay.
I am a sucker for like Japanese style horror, especially if I see it in a video game. It's intriguing. I'll be like interested. But the Metro one, I feel it's a lot more rich and detailed. And
I really agree.
Like that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
So that brings us to the last of the quarterfinals, which is Dying Light versus Alan Wake.
Good night, good luck.
Good night, good luck. Good night. Yeah.
Good luck.
Could have put good luck on the light side. Dying, good night. Light, good luck.
Or dying, good night, good luck night.
No, I really would have just separated it a little bit, put it lower, and just straight across, like, if anything. But,
No, that seems to be a consistent theme with all the box arts of it that I'm seeing of Dying Light. They all seem to have that on it. So it is like a...
They did consider it.
A theme, I guess.
Good
I mean,
night,
the DLCs have like Dying Light, the following. They don't have that good night, good luck. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they did decide to do that.
Good luck. That really is so unnecessary. That being said, Alan Wake is a psychological action thriller. Let's not forget.
You can't forget that. But that's, again, as we've sort of said, it's a little bit more effective at doing that. It separates itself out. Like again, this is very movie poster kind of thing.
But that being said, I do think Dying Light's design is so strong that it does counter it for me a little bit, but it's still...
What is in the... Okay, this is just like... Oh, okay. So like the whole cityscape continues throughout the whole image. It's just sort of different depending on what... Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Is there like falling silhouettes as well mixed in there with the hands?
Yes, because Dying Light has a lot of parkour.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I think that's getting across sort of like the parkour aspect of Dying Light. Where you're like jumping and...
Love it.
Stuff.
I love it. Alan Wake is strong.
Yeah, it's very strong. I don't know.
But I just think Dying Light is so good. So good. Like, I would have no interest in this game whatsoever if it weren't for this. Because just hearing Dying Light by itself, you need a strong...
Yeah, it is a pretty generic title.
But like you combine it with the aesthetic.
I'm still not convinced that is the contrast necessary?
The contrast is what makes it beautiful.
I mean. But no. What I mean is like I don't know. I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, it's like, what does the... Yeah, I guess that's the light part of Dying Light.
I think you gain a lot by putting the Dying in white on the left. Like, imagine the same box art, but you have Dying Light on the right.
I will not disagree with you about that one.
Pestro, how are you feeling, Pestro?
Yeah, I'm a huge sucker for anything that's like hand drawn in general for covers. Like, for example, especially like charcoal, I think is really cool. So if it wasn't for that, I would probably go with Alan Wake because it's a really stylish cover, and like it really sets the tone, and it's awesome. But yeah, the charcoal and the hands. I don't know.
I do like that a lot. I think Alan Wake's consistent sort of tone. I don't know. I think there's something to be said about like the contrast of Dying Light, but it really like it works really well.
It does.
I don't know. I'm just like I'm sort of torn. I really like how the blues and grays of Alan Wake. I think it's a very like it sets the mystery. Dying Light is very like I mean you get the idea what it is. You get little hints at like it's a zombie game, right? You get that idea. But you have this silly good night, good luck, which doesn't really I don't really know what that means. I don't know what that's saying about the game.
Look, you have to think.
Is that saying? So is that giving you the idea that like okay, as you go through, and this may be the case in the game, that like Dying Light. So it's like okay, the sun's coming down. It's always going to be set towards like sunset. So you gotta hurry up and do what you have to do because good night, good luck.
Good night.
So the light's dying, and it's also then playing it's just dying light because it's like they're dead people and light's an important thing. I get that, but light's also an important thing in Alan Wake, and you get that through the whole flashlight thing. You get the fog coming in through the letters. It sets a really consistent sort of idea for the box art in that it's again another thing that I really like about it is how it's stretched past the light of the letters is stretched past the box art. I think that's really good. You get a sense of the light's very low. It's it's almost moonlight coming in, but it's also very like low sort of to the ground where you get the
almost like flashlight.
the long fading. Yeah. From the flashlight, you get the long shadows that are cast from the moonlight and from the flashlight. So
No, I get it, but I'm voting for Dying
yeah.
Light.
I'm voting for Alan Wake. So I like Dying Light. I think it's very strong. I think this may be the toughest one. I know I've said that about a couple of them,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this one actually might be my toughest one.
Yeah, I would think I would have to agree with that one. Actually, they're both really good, really strong covers.
Yeah, I think
Balls in your court, Pestro.
Yeah, it's really really tough, but I think Dying Light just has a slight edge in this one. I feel.
Mm.
But they're both really really good. Like I think all the points made about Alan Wake is spot on. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's an awesome cover. It really is. I remember I remember the first time I saw it. It really stood out to me, that cover. It still does, even looking at it now.
Yeah. Okay.
Dying Light. That charcoal though, the charcoal is really cool. That look be very cool.
Here we go into the semifinals. We have
Okay.
The Evil Within 2 versus The Last of Us.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. All right. I take back what I said. This is hard.
It's a toughie.
It's getting harder.
It's a toughie. Look, The Evil Within 2 has always been, it just sticks out immediately, you know?
Mm.
The Last of Us, it doesn't immediately stick out at you. You have to take a little bit and look at it. But, I mean, there's something to be said about that. Like, I remember we praised Far Cry 5 for similar things, you know, when there's a bit of a depth in the box art.
Mm.
But it's not like immediately, whoa, that's amazing box art until you look into it.
It's true.
But Evil Within 2, it's like, the colors just are,
Stark. They're the lack of color, really.
yeah.
It's very stark, yeah. You don't see, like, it's a white box art. You don't see that very on much of anything, you know?
We'd be remiss if we not compare the expressions on their faces, because we've talked about both of them. He's not distressed enough, and she's a little too distressed.
I think she's appropriately distressed.
No, we
for
don't,
for
we
what
don't
the
want her to
game
be sad.
for what the game is. You're just gonna keep harping on that. I don't know if I'm keen on his at ease with this whole situation thing.
I mean, he's clearly not, like, he has a little furrowed brow for sure, and it's almost
Mhm.
as if that water there is a tear, like it blends
Maybe.
in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not enough of a not enough.
But
for
peep the
to
little
see it.
mouth and nose sticking out on the right. By the way, I like that. Do you see right to the right of him?
Oh yeah.
Just a little mouth and nose and nostrils.
Yeah, just a little. I was like, yeah, it's kind of interesting.
They're
Yeah.
inconsistent. It's like they're not all the same kind of faces. They're all very different. Like
Yeah.
one's a weird looking.
They're all like
one's
weirdly
skull.
blending into each other too. Also, so like here's one thing that maybe I don't know if I'm necessarily as keen on now that I'm thinking about it is, some of the faces look like you are looking at them underwater. That the nose, the nostril one almost looks like they just sort of like shopped a face in from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that that I don't know if I necessarily buy now is, so we're looking at them underwater, but the skull almost looks like it's like like a sheet, you know, where it's coming through like a like a fitted sheet or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and
maybe that's just me, but like that's just something I just kind of noticed now.
Yeah.
Thinking
Because I mean,
about
the white in general is kind of a mix of that vibe of like the horror thing, where you do have the sheets, faces going through the sheets,
I think
but then they do the water.
New Mutants had like the original movie poster for that movie.
Yeah.
That was supposed to come out 2 years ago or whatever. That had I think that was like the sheets where like the mutant faces were on that. Used that aesthetic or that concept.
This is tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure personally.
Yeah, this is really tough. I'm not gonna lie, because I think
We didn't talk about The Last of Us as much, but there's.
we talked about it a lot. There's, I mean, like we said, it's detail rich.
They're deep in that water. I mean,
Yeah, that's like, yeah, they're about knee
some
high.
major flooding.
He's knee high. She's shorter, so she's about like thigh high with it.
I'm trying to decide which facial expression bothers me the most.
Look,
I think his like resolute kind of acceptance. I don't know much about the Evil Within.
Let's hope we don't
it's-
learn too much about it.
I guess, yeah, maybe we shouldn't. Yeah. That was a game maybe we should play at some point. I haven't even
really?
played the first one though.
Look, whoever comes out as the winner, maybe we could play that.
Yeah, unless it's like I don't know.
Unless it's not.
Unless it's something stupid.
Well, we've got heavy hitters in here.
We do. I mean, I've already played The Last of Us. I actually just replayed
yeah,
it
I
recently.
haven't. I just ordered it, the remastered.
Oh,
Actually,
here's the thing. This shouldn't affect this at all. But I just want to mention this. I like this box art way more than I like the remastered one.
right? Yeah.
I think this box art just is so much better than that one. I think it's the remastered is fine, but I think this one's a lot better.
Well, it's awful, but it's fine.
Well, it just kind of sucks, but.
Oh my god, dude, this is tough.
I feel like I've seen the background for in the Evil Within 2. I feel like I've seen the fog and those faces in a movie though. Like it's similar. Like I could be totally wrong or misremembering things, but I feel like just that the face on the right and then the face on the left. Like
You're
I
saying
feel like
maybe
I
they cut
recognize
that
that.
straight from a movie, ripped them off.
I feel like they might have done something like that. I could be wrong though.
That's
but
something to consider.
It looks awfully familiar to me.
Look up bulbous, distressed face underwater. And you'll find it.
I guess so, yeah.
So are you guys leaning a certain way right now? Because I'd love to be convinced.
I'm probably leaning a little bit towards The Last of Us, but it's really hard though. I don't know. I also don't get why she has the rifle and he has the small gun. Shouldn't be the other way around.
She's holding his back, so he's up there in the front lines more, while she's supposed to be like having his back from the back with a larger gun.
Okay, that's fair enough, I guess.
Because he doesn't want to get her up close and in person into the danger. She should have to do her killing from afar as kind of his reasoning, I think.
Alec, what are you thinking?
Oh, I'm leaning Last of Us. I'm leaning Last of Us. I think the Evil Within 2 is really strong. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's I don't know. It could even come down to the whole ink blot thing.
Not the ink blots.
Yeah, the ink.
Not the ink blots.
The Rorschach test.
I just feel like in general, the Evil Within 2 is more unique. Just to look at, like The Last of Us could just blend in as any new AAA title, but
well, it can now. But when it came out, it was a little bit more striking.
Yeah. Shoot, dude, I don't even know how to justify it. I don't know how to sleep with myself.
Are we coin flipping this one?
Everybody flip a coin.
Everybody flip a coin. All right, okay.
Convince me. Somebody.
Yeah, I think I'll have to go with the Evil Within 2.
Oof.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
Is there a reasoning?
Yeah, I think primarily because things we talked about, having a white cover art, like you mentioned, is kind of unique. And I think now that I think about it, I can't think of too many games that have that. It's kind of cool. And also, it portrays kind of like a good sense of action and danger and struggle that I like, and inner madness. It's kind of cool. Something's pulling him under. So it gets me interested in playing it.
Is that your vote?
And Last of Us is there's also that part of like drama and stuff that I don't want in my video games. So
don't want the drama.
Yeah. Okay. So The Last of Us works really, really strongly as drawing you into the experience. You have the sense of, again, the scale, the adventure. It's the road, the video game, basically. You've got you sort of get a sense of the character dynamics being very, very important. She's contemplatively looking, pensively, sadly looking back. It's detail rich, but so is the Evil Within 2. The Evil Within 2 has a lot of really interesting details around it.
I feel like the guy in the Last of Us cover, he doesn't. There's nothing really interesting about him on the cover art. He's almost like
Screw Joel. Yeah, am I right? What a loser.
It's almost like that. In the cover art, he's just there to portray him as a bodyguard for her. Almost.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a nice look on his face.
So it's like There's nothing
what is that
interesting about him on
expression?
the
Just
He's
an
cover.
angry
smiling.
man. Just
He
an
should be
angry
smiling.
man ahead.
He's just an angry man. He should be
I
smiling.
don't connect with him in
Um,
any way. That's true. So Pestro, your vote's for the evil within too, right?
I think so. Yeah, I
Alec,
think so.
Alec, how do you vote? Juror number 2, how do you plead?
I think I'm gonna stick with The Last of Us because I think to me it comes down to something as simple as those ink blots. I think both of them have incredibly strong strengths. I don't see any special nitpicks. So I don't have any special nitpicks about The Last of Us. I like the sense of symbology in both of them. Symbolism. I think it works really well. I like the striking, unique sort of cover of the Evil Within 2. I like the artistry of the angle of The Last of Us, and I think just something as simple as like I don't know why you needed the ink blots. Maybe it brings it all together. I don't know, but to me it seems a little unnecessary. But that's just me, and I'm gonna go Last of Us as the winner.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
kind of comes down to this.
Yeah, it does. I'm making it hard for you.
No pressure.
They both bring a lot to the table, but I'm gonna go with Evil Within 2.
Okay.
I just think the design is a lot more. It's bold.
He's bold.
It'll stick out from the rest of the shelf, and I do think there's an element of us having familiarity, at least with the concept of The Last of Us, gives it a bonus. Whereas if you didn't know, I do think he just looks like an angry man, and
He's just an angry man.
and like that's who you're playing as. It's just this dude.
Yeah, but you
But,
don't
like, the
know.
girl's
If you looked at
dressed-
this, you would say you think, "Oh, are you playing as the girl? Maybe because she's in the front."
I get it, but she's sad, and we don't want girls to be sad around here.
I just want a girl to be happy, okay?
I just want her to be happy.
Yes, quit sobbing.
Just want the best for
Put
her.
a smile on your face, all right?
Okay.
Jeez, you're cramping my style. I'm supposed to be the angry man here.
So the Evil Within 2. All right.
Okay.
He's
All
going
right.
to the finals. Send him on. All right. Last of the semifinals, we have Metro Exodus versus Dying Light.
Oh man.
I think I know what I'm gonna pick. Actually, already, I may be
think so.
surprising. I may be surprising.
Uh-oh. Well,
Yeah.
then it won't surprise me because now I know it's going to be the opposite of what I expected.
What? What? No, I don't know what you just said.
So Metro, I for some reason I always really like the white aesthetic in general. I just think it's cool, like the snow.
We just put a white one through the
We
finals.
love whites around here.
Yeah.
So, Dying
Joe,
Light.
you might want to watch your phrasing there.
Yeah. I meant what I said.
Yeah, okay.
Dying Light is a very bold design. I really like that design. I do think Dying Light is stronger. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think I'm siding with Dying Light on this one. I think the blemish of that Metro Exodus dynamic theme, it's a very good box art. I really like it. I think it's sort of like The Last of Us. It sort of is leading you on to this sort of like, the focal point is just by its very nature is focusing you towards the center, towards the character, and then out from that towards the distance. So I think it does a really good job of sort of getting you focused on that, and then sort of sprinkling all the little details, the harsh environment and everything like that. I think that's great. I think the details of Dying Light with the streaks coming down, the hands like look like they're like clawing up at the people that are jumping. I think that's really cool. I think it works really well as kind of giving you the concept of sort of what the game is with the traversal. I'm still not necessarily totally sold on the despite the fact that I don't know, I'm just battling in my mind the contrast for whatever reason. I think it works. I don't know why it works. Maybe that's my problem. But I mean, I get it, the light. So the light is the thing, and obviously the dying you've got portrayed here.
Yeah.
Good night, good
it.
luck. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Good
but
night,
I
good
think
luck.
I don't like that at all. But I like basically everything else about this box art.
I don't like the good night, good luck. There's just like no.
Yeah.
It's just all one phrase. Good night, good luck.
Yeah. Good night, good luck.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a space between it. I mean, to be honest, if you've gone to The Last of Us, there's.
Last of Us.
Here's the thing. This is a thing that a friend of mine used to say sometimes. He's like, "Hey, it's The Last Office." But I was like, "There's clearly a space in between. There's clearly a space between that." But he used to just always call it The Last Office, and I'm like, I hate you. I hate you so much.
Pestro, how are you feeling?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Dying Light as well.
Yeah.
You hate to see it 3-0 in the semifinals, but that might be the case.
I think that's it. Yeah, I'm going Dying Light. That's my vote. I think
Dying Light.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a more creative box art as well. More unique, creative.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that brings us to the grand finale. It all comes down to this. The winner of box art battle is going to be between The Evil Within 2 and Dying Light.
Here we go. We got a very strong, striking box arts here.
We like some level of contrast and striking colors.
They're both pretty monochrome,
yeah. They're just both. They're both like they break the mold. You know what I'm saying? They break the mold of typical box arts where it's like browns and, it's unique color choices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny. Personally, I would say if it wasn't for that Good Night, Good Luck, I would say Dying Light for sure. But with that Good Night, Good Luck thing, it really bothers me.
So
Good Night, Good Luck.
Well, here's the thing. There's nothing on the top of Light that's like it's like doing weird symmetry there either. You could have had. I think Zach said this earlier. I was looking something up at the time. I think you could have had like Good Night being at the top of one thing and Good Luck being up at the top of the other. Maybe I don't know if did you say that?
I said underneath each of them, but
yeah.
Ultimately, I think it would have been better just to simply have it.
Just not even there.
Well, across the bottom if you had to have it, but
yeah, if you had to have it, yeah.
You have to say Good Night and Good Luck.
And here's another thing too, is that with that you could have changed the colors of Good Night, Good Luck too.
Yeah.
With the different colors of Dying and Light.
So, but then it'll almost blend in too much, and then it would really confuse the title at that point.
Maybe.
Dying,
maybe.
Good Night, Light, Good Luck.
Good Luck.
I think one thing they could have added to make it more like cooler, I think, is so there's that sepia or like the sun in the background on the right side with light. It would have been nice if that was like the light was coming from a candle that was burning out. So if that was like in the sky, that might have been pretty cool if they did something like that. But it's just like a bland kind of sky
like
there with nothing.
Kind of faded in the background, kind of thing.
Maybe that's what bugs me about it, is that the left side is so like they've got this really strong like the wipes coming down from the charcoal, the sort of blended in, but then you've got the strands, and then you just have like a blank sky in the background with like the light sources. There's no like clouds or anything,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You get kind of maybe sort of a sense of it with the kind of like pinker sort of stuff towards the top of it, but yeah, I don't know.
That being said, The Evil Within 2
got those ink blots.
The ink blots. It could have furrowed that brow a little bit more for me.
I don't know what the Rorschach test is going on here.
The Evil Within 2 does have an axe in its typography.
Or a knife.
Yeah, I think maybe we should bring Layers of Fear back in.
Layers of Fear. It looks so drab by comparison to everything else we've
moved on.
Looked at
it's
today.
A whole different, completely different level now.
Yeah, it totally is.
I've got my vote. I've been a ride or die from the beginning.
Yeah.
Dying Light is killer. It's really killer. I mean, I've loved.
Yeah.
I've ridden for both of these, honestly.
You have.
Dying Light is just so. I think it's strong. It's really strong. With the streaks and the style in general, with the contrast. Good Night and Good Luck is a blemish, but
it is. I don't like it. I hate it. In fact,
I think the designs are strong enough to counteract it.
Yeah, honestly, that Dying Light cover makes me want to fire up my Xbox One and check it out.
Let's get it going right now.
Here's the thing: Evil Within, though, I am saying things against. I've said things against it. Like, I just love the detail rich it is. I like. Here's another thing I like about Dying Light, though, too. Is the I mentioned this before, but the fact that it is, you can tell in the background that it's all one sort of like city kind of thing, or a little town, and it's just, it changes colors based on the other thing. I think that's neat. The background kind of blends into the foreground and background weirdly. But little details of Evil Within 2,
little nightmares of all the different hands. You look at the hands, they look like they're all from different people, different creatures. I like that. You like hands.
I think that this might be a silly thing, but I think the poses the zombie does in Dying Light 2 in the background are like pretty like classic, traditional, pretty good like poses for zombies. I think too. They look, I don't know.
The zombies themselves, yeah.
They look very Dead Island zombie, which makes sense because it was made by Techland.
I like it. You know, I like it more than the Walking Dead jank arm, honestly. I like this pose.
Yeah.
Hands, and there's people running in the sky. There's a lot going on here that you can take out, like for the details of it. But just from afar, it's strong too.
I honestly, I'm gonna maybe not shock anyone, but I think I'm saying Evil Within 2 gets my vote.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are both really strong contenders. I think Dying Light's got a lot of strength. I think the overall, like, there's a lot going here, but that Good Night Good Luck, I don't know, it's somehow that's worse than random ink blots to me. The phrase is worse than ink blots. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
This is gonna be weird probably, but for some reason Dying Light, the cover reminds me a little bit of Rambo 4 because like it's the black and white, and then the face. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember Rambo 4's. I don't know. I think I know that Rambo.
Oh, it's not super similar, but it's a little bit the same.
Well, we're gonna see now.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I think I get what you're saying here. I get what you're throwing down.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll have to go with Dying Light though, personally. But yeah, it's not perfect though. I really don't like that slogan and everything. There's a lot of things that could be better, but I think I have to go with that one. Yeah.
So Dying Light.
Yeah, I think so.
Dying Light's our winner then.
There it is. Dying Light. Dying Light is apparently. I'm not happy with it. Hey, this is the thing. This is what's great about finally having. Well, I guess we had to go before, but having a third person for a tiebreaker like this, like we would have been split. We would have had a split decision.
I think
if it was just the two of us.
Yeah, I think you've been against the grain most of these, Alec.
Me?
Yeah, like I don't think you voted for either of these that ended up in the finale here.
No, I voted for Evil Within 2 at the beginning.
Well, I mean, like in the end, like you would have had different choices to have in the final.
True. It's true. I would have. Yeah, it's true.
But
if you could randomly pick anyone, like without the brackets, which one would be your favorite? Would you say?
My favorite of all. This is a good thing. We should do this from now on. This is a good idea. If I could pick one to the whole bracket.
Pick one that you would want to win, or
from the whole bracket, my favorite, maybe.
I mean, I had my way every step, so.
You did, yeah. I think you got the way it was. Be either The Last of Us or Alan Wake, I think. Maybe.
Maybe Layers of Fear, Masterpiece Edition. Could have gotten in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Did I vote for Until Dawn? I don't remember. I think I might not have. Yeah, I think I didn't because it was some of the details. Until Dawn is still really good though. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I think probably would have been either The Last of Us or Alan Wake. I think I would actually probably side with Alan Wake. I think I really like the simplicity of it. Which normally me and Zach are both like detail fiends. I think we really like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes with these simpler box arts, the details that they do have tell you so much more about the game, or they tend to. That like sometimes that's enough. So,
do you have a game that out of these that you would most just want to play out of the ones you haven't played just from seeing the box art? Is there anyone that you really want to play now? Because I honestly think Dying Light would be it for me.
Yeah, honestly, just from the box art alone, Dying Light might be it. I hate that Good Night, Good Luck though. I think that's so silly.
Now it makes you
Maybe even
it.
Metro. Metro might even do it. Honestly, though, I've wanted to play those games for a long time. I really like that. To me, is the most striking box art of any of the Metro games. It's really good. I really like that a lot. I think I might side with that one actually.
Yeah, so I do have to agree with Alec that if it wasn't for the fact that Alan Wake pitted against Dying Light, I probably would have voted for it like pretty much throughout the whole thing. But it got pitted against Dying Light early, so I had to go with that one. But yeah, if I'm happy with Dying Light, though. I think that was a really strong cover, so I don't mind seeing that one win. If there's one game that I would like to play out of the ones that we've seen, definitely Dying Light for sure. I'm not sure if any other. Actually, yeah, I would probably want to play Dead Rising. Actually, I really like that cover. Actually, I would probably vote for Dead Rising now that I think about it.
Yeah, maybe
I really like that cover.
Yeah, it was just pitted against one that it appealed to my symmetrical brain. Really like that. I think against other stuff, if it was against, even if it was against Dead Space, I think even though I was really I love Dead Space, I think I would have voted for Dead Rising over that one. Yeah.
See, horror games in general, I just don't dabble in that much. So, if a box art can make me interested in it, that's pretty good. Dying Light, I would have had no interest in otherwise, And same with Metro. Alan Wake, I've wanted to play actually, but I've only played out of these Luigi's Mansion, Walking Dead, and Until Dawn. So. I mean, in The Last of Us, it's not the box art because it's just highly recommended in general.
Well, that's it.
That's
our long, lengthy box art battles, but we love this. Me personally, this is one of my favorite things that we do on the channel. So
yeah, we only do it once or twice a year.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess apparently.
We'll try to do it more often for sure. The thing is, we need a guest for it, 100% every time. All right, thank you for joining us, Pestro.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure having you on. It's always a good time. You offering a third perspective, offering a unique perspective. Give it that Dead Rising.
Dying Light is our winner.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Dying Light joins the likes of Blood Rain and Keith Courage as box art battles.
Keith Courage won? Really?
Yeah, I think you were there for that one.
What? No, well, obviously I was there for that one. I don't remember that at all. That's amazing. I don't remember Keith Courage winning.
Courage, baby.
That's wild.
TurboGrafx, right?
On the TurboGrafx. Keith Courage and Alpha Zone. That's funny. I don't remember that at all. You should go watch that episode though. Down below.
Oh yeah, well, I was gonna say, Pestro, do you have a video you would recommend that they watch from our channel?
From your channel?
Yeah.
I do remember the Blood Rain one. That was a good one actually.
The box art battles episode 1.
I would say check that one out. That was a good one.
Or it could even just be our Blood Rain review after we played that game, and we're like, wow. That sure is Blood Rain.
Maybe we can look into Dying Light. Maybe that could be a future
review. I know very little about it other than that parkour stuff, honestly.
It would be cool if we could always review the game, but Keith Courage, I don't have a TurboGrafx, so
yeah.
That'll happen sometimes.
See if Dying Light lived up to the box art.
Yeah. That would be cool.
That's gonna be
Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter at Tarqaron TWO. Subscribe to the podcast feed. Hit that notification bell. Like this video. Share it with your friends. Comment on the video. Tell us what you think. Okay?
Yeah, tell us about how wrong we were. About
what would you have voted in this bracket? Oh, blasphemy. Okay.
No. He can do what he wants. He's our guest, He's fine. I'm okay.
If you just smile a little more, it would be nice, though.
Yeah.